talking about. It's not always, a full-blown crisis. Sometimes it's just that low hum.
Yeah, like a background static.
Exactly. A kind of continuous anxiety. A subtle fear, maybe, that just seems to stick around no matter what's actually going on.
It's incredibly common. Actually, our sources really point this out. Most people carry some level of background fear.
And maybe don't even realize it.
Often, yeah, they're not consciously aware of it until, something brings it to the surface. And that fear, it's almost guaranteed if you're totally identified with. Well, what's often called the egoic mind.
Okay, let's unpack this right away. Because that term, egoic mind, it can sound a bit abstract, maybe.
Sure.
For someone listening who's really curious, but maybe not deep into this specific language, what are we really talking about? Is it just like ego as in self-importance? Or is it deeper?
Oh, it's much deeper than that. In this context, the egoic mind refers to that constant stream of thinking.
Yeah.
The inner narrator.
The voice in the head.
The voice in the head. Constantly judging, labeling, comparing, and crucially, projecting into the future. Worrying about what might happen.
Okay.
And when we say identified with it, we mean you genuinely believe that stream of thought is you. That's your identity.
Right. Like, I am my thoughts.
Exactly. And that identity, because it's so focused on controlling the future, avoiding pain, achieving things, it's inherently based in fear.
Yeah.
The sources even mention anger. How often anger is just fear wearing a mask.
That makes sense. Fear underneath.
Deep fear, yeah.
So the big question then, the one we're diving into is, the fear you're feeling right now, is it actually caused by something happening right now in this moment?
Right.
Or is it generated purely by those thought processes, by the mind-spinning stories?
Precisely. And if we look closely, really honestly,
Yeah.
we often find that it's the thought activity doing it.
Yeah.
Especially when it gets excessive.
Spinning out.
Yeah, creating these imaginary scenarios.
Yeah.
Things going wrong that, importantly, are not happening now.
And might never happen.
They may never happen at all. It's like
Wow.
the mind is manufacturing a crisis out of thin air.
And this is where, for me, the sources really hit home. This idea about the futility of worry. They make this powerful point that even if that worst-case scenario did actually happen,
which feels like the thing you absolutely need to worry about.
right, but the actual event happening in reality would somehow be easier to face than the imaginary version your mind is torturing you with right now.
That sounds completely backwards at first, doesn't it? We think worrying prepares us.
Totally. Like, if I'm terrified of losing my job, surely thinking through all the horrible consequences helps me get ready. How could the actual job loss be easier than just thinking about it?
Because if the actual situation arrives, you can act. You can respond to it. You can, call people, look for new work, ask for help. You're dealing with reality.
You have agency.
You have agency. But the imaginary situation,
Yeah.
the one playing out only in your head,
Yeah.
there's literally nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
Except stop thinking it.
Which feels impossible when you're caught in it.
Exactly. You're fighting a ghost.
Yeah.
You're completely powerless against something that isn't real. Worrying about it doesn't solve anything. It just drains you.
It's utterly exhausting. And that inability of the mind, or maybe our identification with the mind to tell the difference between the ghost and reality, that leads to this biological trap, doesn't it?
Yes. This is maybe the most critical piece for listeners to really grasp. Your body. It physically cannot tell the difference between a real threat out there.
Like a tiger jumping out.
Right. Versus a threatening thought generated inside your head.
Wow. Okay, hang on. The implications of that are huge.
They really are. When your thoughts are constantly saying this is critical, disaster is coming, you're failing, your body hears that and it believes it. It thinks the threat is immediate and real.
So it flips the switch.
Instantly triggers the fight or flight response.
Yeah.
Your body thinks the tiger is in the room right now, even though the tiger is just your own thinking pattern.
Okay, that explains so much. That racing heart, the shortness of breath, maybe palpitations, that horrible feeling of dread, all while you might just be sitting quietly at your desk or lying in bed, physically safe?
But the body is experiencing it as a direct attack. It's, as the sources put it, an awful state to be in, especially if it goes on for years. And it's all happening in the mind, but the body bears the brunt.
So if you recognize that this this almost disease-like state, this constant anxiety, is actually mind-created, fueled by thoughts about a future that isn't here.
Then the way out becomes clearer.
You have to deal with the thoughts themselves.
Yes, but maybe not by arguing with them, because that just keeps you tangled up in thinking.
Right, more thinking about thinking.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's more about recognizing how futile and, frankly, destructive this kind of worry is. The real action is a conscious choice to step out, to disengage from that relentless mind stream.
Okay, so if these future-focused, fear-generating thoughts are basically useless noise, what should we be focusing on? What's the actual reality here?
And that brings us perfectly to this really key distinction the sources make. It's the difference between your life and your life situation.
Life versus life situation. Got it. Explain those.
Life, with a capital L, maybe, is only ever now. It's this present moment. It's your actual experience of being alive right here.
Yeah.
Your breathing, your senses, that feeling of presence.
Okay, the immediate now. And the life situation.
That's the stuff that exists mostly in your mind. It's like a mental file folder.
Containing.
Your story, basically. Your health status, your job title, your financial situation, assets, debts, your relationships, your past history, your future goals and fears, all that conceptual stuff.
Things we obviously need to deal with in the world.
Absolutely. You have to pay the bills, go to the doctor, manage relationships. But the problem arises when this mental construct, this life situation, completely takes over.
Yeah.
When it totally obscures your actual life, your presence, your aliveness right now.
I mean, that happens all the time, doesn't it? You're having a perfectly nice moment, maybe sunshine, birds singing, but your mind is just churning over, say, a work problem or a bill that's due.
Exactly. The concept, the life situation of the bill, has completely overshadowed the life that's actually happening. The sunshine, the birds, the feeling of being alive.
And the result is?
You end up carrying what the sources describe as a heavy burden, like a really heavy, dense personality made up of problems and worries. You're not really experiencing the world, you're just experiencing your thoughts about the world.
And trapped within that is this kind of hidden assumption, isn't there? This delusion.
A huge one. It's this unconscious belief that eventually life should stop being difficult. That if you just arrange things correctly or think positively enough,
Yeah.
life will finally leave you alone and not challenge you anymore.
Here's where it gets really interesting, because we all feel that, don't we? That sense of resentment when another problem pops up. Like, seriously, again, I thought I had things sorted.
Precisely. We feel like we're owed a period of smooth sailing. But the sources are clear. It's actually in the very nature of life situations to be problematic. Challenges are inherent.
Even if you're super organized or practice positive thinking?
Even then, life constantly presents new situations, new phases, a new job, retirement, kids leaving home, health changes, and each one brings its own set of challenges. It's unavoidable.
Okay, so if challenges are just part of the deal, how do we stop that automatic reaction, that fearful jump from problem in my life situation to I feel terrible? How do we actually practice stepping out of that mind stream?
It really comes down to a conscious choice. You have to deliberately shift your attention away from the thinking mind and into the present moment.
And the sources give some practical ways to do that.
Yes, several methods, but they all point to the same place, really.
Okay, give us the steps. What can someone do right now?
Well, the simplest start is often just take a conscious breath, really feel the air coming in and going out.
Okay, one conscious breath.
Then there's the instruction to inhabit the body.
Inhabit the body. Let's pause on that. What does that actually mean? How does that feel? Is it like focusing on warmth or?
It's about shifting your attention inward, away from the thoughts racing in your head, and into the physical sensations of being alive right now. Try to feel the subtle energy inside your hands, or your feet on the floor, or just a general sense of aliveness pervading your body.
Like an inner awareness.
Exactly. An inner energy field, some sources call it. It's a sensory anchor. It grounds you in life, the actual present moment, rather than getting lost in the life situation drama in your head.
Okay, so conscious breath, inhabit the body. What else?
Come to your senses. Literally, what can you see right now? What can you hear? Smell, touch, taste. Engage your five senses with your immediate surroundings.
So be here now, come to your senses, inhabit the body.
They're all essentially different ways of saying the same thing, different doorways into the present moment.
Got it. But what about when it's not just background anxiety? What about really deep fear or intense emotional pain or even physical suffering? You can't just come to your senses and make agony disappear, can you?
No, not in the sense of making it vanish instantly. The path here, according to these sources, is Well, it's acceptance. And it feels like a paradox.
How so?
Because your instinct, your mind's desperate urge is to fight it, to push it away, numb it, escape it somehow.
Absolutely. Get rid of the bad feeling.
But the teaching is, don't try to get rid of it. Instead, consciously choose to turn towards it. Place your attention on the difficult emotion or the pain. Feel it fully.
Feel the fear. Feel the grief. That sounds terrifying.
It can be, but the realization is that the feeling itself, however intense, cannot actually destroy the core of who you are, your underlying presence or consciousness. You are the space in which the feeling happens.
And trying to push it away just keeps it stuck.
That's the paradox. Resistance fuels it. If you fight it, you give it power, and you can't get rid of it. But if you allow it, if you meet it with complete acceptance, just letting it be there without judgment or resistance,
Yeah.
that acceptance, that surrender to what is internally, that's actually the doorway through it. That's where the transformation happens.
Okay, let's clarify acceptance, though. If my life situation involves, say, huge debt and potential eviction, does accepting the awful feeling mean I just give up and stop trying to solve the problem, stop calling creditors?
No, absolutely not. That's a common misunderstanding. Acceptance is always about your inner state. It's about accepting the feeling, the anxiety, the fear, the shame that arises because of the debt.
Okay. Inner acceptance.
Right, you stop fighting the emotion inside you.
Right.
And paradoxically, when you stop wasting energy resisting the feeling, you actually become much clearer, calmer, and more effective at dealing with the external situation, making the calls, finding solutions.
So internal acceptance frees you up for external action.
Precisely. You're no longer crippled by the emotional reaction.
The sources even take this further, suggesting that if the suffering is really extreme, like a chronic illness, a major disability, or just constant inner turmoil,
Yes.
that very thing, the thing you hate the most and wish would go away, that can become your greatest teacher, your main meditation in life, as one source puts it.
Exactly. That intense challenge, if you can learn to meet it with presence and acceptance rather than constant mental resistance, it forces a kind of spiritual deepening. It becomes the catalyst for awakening.
It's like the grit in the oyster creating the pearl.
A perfect analogy. And we see examples of this throughout history, don't we?
Like Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher.
Right. His core message was essentially, it's not the situation that makes you unhappy, it's your thought about the situation.
And he wasn't just saying that from an ivory tower. He lived it. He was enslaved. He was physically disabled.
His external life situation was objectively terrible by any measure. Yet he found inner freedom through mastering his inner state, through acceptance and presence.
And a more modern example.
Stephen Hawking comes to mind immediately. Facing an absolutely devastating diagnosis, what seemed completely unacceptable,
ALS, yeah.
by somehow finding a way to accept that reality, to surrender to it internally, rather than just fighting it mentally. He didn't just survive against the odds. He transcended the limitations in incredible ways. Lived such a fruitful life.
It really underscores that idea.
That acceptance of the unacceptable is the great source of grace in this world. It truly is.
So the takeaway isn't that we need some grand spiritual quest somewhere else. Our current challenges, our pain, our fear, that's the actual material we have to work with.
That's enough. Be with that. That's where the real growth happens. It's only by encountering these difficulties, these friction points in our lives,
The challenging life situation.
that we're forced to go deeper. To find that presence within ourselves and transcend our usual conditioned reactions.
Yeah.
Without those challenges, there'd be no impetus, no pressure driving that inner shift, that awakening.
Okay, so let's try and synthesize this deep dive. We started by seeing how fear often isn't about the now, but about mind-made projections into the future.
Right, and how the body gets tricked into reacting as if those thoughts are real threats.
Then we saw the solution isn't fighting the thoughts, but disidentifying from them, stepping out of the stream.
By anchoring in the present moment, inhabiting the body, coming to our senses, recognizing the difference between life as it is now and the mental story of our life situation.
And finally, the deepest transformation comes not from trying to escape difficult feelings or situations, but through radical inner acceptance, surrendering to the what is of our inner state.
Which, paradoxically, empowers us to deal with the outer situation more effectively.
Which leads us perfectly to a final provocative thought for you, the listener, to maybe chew on.
Consider your biggest challenge right now, that really difficult, entrenched, problematic part of your life situation. You know the one.
The one you desperately wish would just disappear.
Yeah. Now, if what we've explored is true, that facing challenges, meeting difficulty with presence and acceptance, is actually the engine of spiritual growth and awakening.
Then could it be? Could that very thing you find most difficult, most unacceptable, could that paradoxically be the precise thing that's here to wake you up?
Is your greatest obstacle actually your greatest opportunity for transformation?
Something to mull over. Until the next deep dive, stay present.
Stay well.